morning. Take a bite. All right, let me in. Careful, careful, careful. All right, here we go. Give you this. You're hungry, huh? Good. All right. Eat up. We'll see you later. Hey everybody, welcome back to Goodale Farm. If you're new to the channel, I'm Peter. Thanks for tuning in. So today, it's Saturday morning. I just want to do a quick video, a couple updates. Quick video before I get my Saturday going, my usual set of chores and some other activities. So, hope you're doing great, and thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so before I get into the main meat of the video today, a little bit of a celebration and a little bit of gratitude and thank you. So my subscribers, I broke the milestone of 30 subscribers. I'm actually at 31. So Mauricio and Robin, I think you're my latest ones. I think you broke me over the 30 mark, so thank you very much. I think I have like 500,000 more subscribers to go before this actually is meaningful anywhere. And then relative to views, views of all my videos, I have almost 2,000. I want to say it was like 1,800 or so. Probably 1,600 are mine, but the rest of them are from you guys. And so I thank you, and Lacey thanks you. She enjoys the being on the videos. Anyway, so that was just a quick thank you and an update on where I am from a YouTube standpoint. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, so it's the end of August, and let's call it September. And as far as I'm concerned, the sunflowers, this is the last call for them. So I figured I'd go around and do a recap of how they worked out. And for those that have been following the channel, or if this is your first time, go back to previous videos of when I actually planted them. And you see from seed to the little sprouts to somewhat of a recap today. So let's take a look, see what we got. So you got here different phases. Like this guy's done. This guy just probably popped out the last week or so, and you see the bumblebee there going to town on it, which is great because this time of year there's not too much pollen out there, so it's good for the bees to kind of get what's going. And then this guy still has yet to go, so that's another let's call it 2 weeks for the bees to be able to feed off of this one here. So in the dog world, when they have dog shows, they have best in show. All right, here's my best in show. It's this one here. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 8 to 10 different flower heads that's going to come out on this one. It's a good 6.5, 7 feet tall, so definitely takes the prize for the tallest and most floral, I guess. I don't know if you say that. This one is a pretty neat one too. Same type of multiple flower head on it. What a unique color. And one nearby, this one's on its way out, but I think this one got nailed by the I'll call it a hurricane, even though it wasn't that much of a hurricane that came through. And I did the blue string to try to support them some, but it didn't work too much. But again, going back to when I planted these, this was the group that I originally started in the litter box, and then that litter box got flooded, and I had to drain it. And you know, I had like low hopes for these seeds and the sprouts that were coming. So basically, after it got saturated with the rain, I took the litter box with the sprouts. I just dumped it right here. So dumped it and put it here. So kind of interesting to see how that turned out. And at the time, you know, when I was doing those past videos, I wondered, and I asked you guys the question is, how do you determine a plant, whether it's going to be strong or weak, and you know, whether it's the size of the sprout that's coming up or whatever. And here's a great example that these were like mistreated at the early stages of sprouting. They were like really slight and small, and then look, the one turns out to be best in show. Yeah, so here's one I got to give a honorable mention to. It's this guy right here. Real small, but the stem on this thing is really slender. So, you know, one of these reflector poles here, if you will, just kind of put it up there for a relative size. So this little guy survived the hurricane and is doing really well so far. It's pretty cool. Here's a second honorable mention. I think this is going to be a traditional yellow one, but this one has weathered the storm as well. It's been going back and forth. I try to put one of these support things in there, but you can see here the stalk comes up, and then right here it branches off into two. And I don't think this is one of these multiple flowering head ones. I think it's just a mutation. Maybe not, but it's pretty cool. You know, it comes from one here, it goes to two, but then this one strand actually looks like two joined together, because up top here it tends to split apart. So I don't know, kind of a curious sunflower collection this year. But this guy's getting late to the game. I don't know. Hopefully he'll survive the next couple weeks, and the bees will be able to get some pollen off of him. You know, generally speaking, automation is pretty good. You know, you think you have the washing machine, dishwasher, all those things are great. You'd hate to do that stuff by hand. It saves you time as well. But what I do have a problem with some automation nowadays is that it leaves you restricted. You can only use the automation. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I think it's human nature to want to be independent, to be able to take care of yourself and just not rely on things. But nowadays, appliances and certain pieces of equipment, you're dependent on the electronics. You know, one for instance is the new cars these days. You need the key fob. There's no longer a key. And if you don't have that key fob, you could have a car. I mean, some of these go to like 50, 60, you know, $100,000 asset, and you don't have that little key fob that's probably $500 to replace. If you don't have it, the piece of machinery is useless. And that's what you have with even more rudimentary common appliances, like a television. There's no buttons on a television anymore to put it on or off. You need the remote. If the remote's not working, you miss the remote, hey, you're out of luck. And you know, the other thing to be careful of with technology, as a little bit of preaching here, is that as we automate things, are we becoming lazy as a society? We no longer have to really get up out of the couch. You no longer have to really do anything manually. Everything's automated. So automation is great, is it saves you time, and you use that time for more productive things. But there's that downside where automation sometimes, you know, makes you dependent on things, and then also leaves you somewhat incapable of doing things on your own, because you're always relying on just to press a button and it happens. Anyway, go for a walk in the woods. No automation out there. Yeah, so if you've been following the channel, or for those who know me, you know I don't have a $50,000 vehicle, let alone anything close to $100,000. But I'll tell you what I do have. I do have a TV on the inside. Remote, I have no idea where it is. Beautiful TV hanging on the wall. Can't watch it. The other thing I have is this pool pump. Now, this setup that you see here, it's called a Pentair Intelliflo 2. It's a 3.5 horse pump. Now, this whole setup where you see it from, you know, the intake with the pump, you know, they call this the basket, and then the pump motor itself, and then sitting on top is a keypad. It's actually called the drive, technically. That whole setup, all in, is $1,700. So I have this big, you know, industrial size pump. I mean, it's been working great, but unfortunately, the only way to turn it on is through this electronic keypad, the drive, and this has become faulty. When I plug it in, I get error codes. It doesn't respond, etc. It's been intermittent, and when the pump runs, it's quiet, it's strong. I'm a firm believer there's nothing wrong mechanically with the pump, but I'm confined and constrained by this electronic pad. So a project in my near future is to remove this drive section, which, the way I understand it, are these 4 screws up top. You remove it, and then, you know, with these screws here, you're able to take the electronic off. I'm going to clean it up with some alcohol swabs and Q-tips, see if I see any loose connections. I'll take a look at the wiring here. You know, this is a hard wire that goes in, and see if there's any corrosion on that. You know, the cord looks fine. I'll re-inspect that. It's a 220 volt. That's working fine. There's a breaker inside the garage, so I just ultimately have to troubleshoot it. Now, I looked up, you know, if I had to buy a brand new drive here, it's like a $400 part. Now, I could get a whole new pump assembly, a pretty decent one, for $400. So there's no way I'm thinking that I'm going to buy this section here to replace on here. I don't know. I might do it. I don't know. Again, good pump, good basket. You know, it's already set up. If I got to pay $400 for that, that's going to hurt. But it's just frustrating. You know, why sell a $1,700 setup and equipment where you have a weak link in electronics? And there's no way to bypass that. There's no toggle switch. There's no way to turn this thing on unless that works. That's frustrating. All right, everybody, that's the quick video for today. Hope you're having a great day. And again, I really appreciate you tuning in. Take care.